Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to the beautiful pastime of Lord Sri Krishna. Yesterday we discussed about the demon Trinavrata, how he came in a form of whirlwind, created so much disturbance, and he was so huge and gigantic. But Lord, even though in the form of baby, has killed such a huge demon with no effort. So this gives us a confidence that Lord is all powerful and God is always God. It is not that God became God after doing certain meditation. No. God is always God, and human being or any other jivas is always a living entity. So today we are going to discuss about the vision of universal form, and this topic has been taken from the Krishna book of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So after this incident of Trinavrata, Vasudev asked his family priest Garg Muni to visit the place of Nanda Maharaj in order to get astrological calculation the future life about Krishna. So Garg Muni was a great saintly sage who had undergone many austerities and penances and been appointed as a priest of Yadu dynasty. When Garg Muni arrived at the home of Nanda Maharaj was very much pleased to see him and immediately stood up with folded hands and offered his respectful obeisances. He received Garg Muni with feelings of one who is worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He offered him a nice seating place. When he sat down, Nanda Maharaj offered him a warm reception. Addressing him very politely, he said, "My dear Brahmana, your appearance in a householder's place is only to enlighten them. We are always engaged in household duties and are forgetting our real duty of self-realization. Your coming to our house is to give us some enlightenment about spiritual life. You have no other purpose in visiting house of a householder." So actually, a saintly person or a Brahmana has no business in visiting householders who are always busy in the matters of dollar and cents. The only reason that the saintly person and the Brahmanas go to the place of a householder is to enlighten them. It is asked that why don't the householder go to saintly person or a Brahmana for enlightenment? The answer is that the householders are very poor-hearted. Generally, householders think that engaging in family affairs is their prime duty, and the self-realization or enlightenment in the spiritual knowledge is secondary. Out of compassion, only the saintly person and Brahmanas go to the householder's home. Nanda Maharaj addressed Garg Muni as one of the great authorities in astrological science. The foretelling of astrological science, such as occurrence of solar and lunar eclipse, are wonderful calculation. And by this particular science, a person can understand the future very clearly. Garg Muni was proficient in this knowledge. So by this knowledge, one can understand his previous activities, where that causing him to enjoy or suffer in this life. Nanda Maharaj also addressed Garg Muni as the best of Brahmana. A Brahmana is one who is expert in the knowledge of the Supreme. Without knowledge of the Supreme Absolute, one cannot be recognized as a Brahmana. The exact word used in this connection is Brahmvidam, which means those who know the Supreme very well. An expert Brahmana is able to give reformatory facilities to the subcaste, namely Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras. So the Shudra observes no reformatory performance, which are also called as samskara. The Brahmanas is considered to be the spiritual master or priest for Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. Nanda Maharaj happened to be a Vaishya, and he accepted Garg Muni as the first class Brahmana. He therefore offered his two foster sons, namely Krishna and Balram, to him to purify. Nanda stated that not only these boys but all human beings just after birth should accept a qualified Brahmana as a spiritual master. Upon this request, Garg Muni replied, Vasudev has sent me to see the reformatory performance of these boys, especially Krishna, but if I do it, it may be incidentally appear that Krishna is the son of Devaki, since I am Vasudev's family priest. By his astrological calculation, Garg Muni can understand that Krishna was the son of Devaki, which Nanda did not know. Indirectly, Garg Muni said that Krishna and Balram were both sons of Vasudeva. Balram was known as the son of Vasudeva because his mother was Rohini and was present there. But Nanda Maharaj did not know that Krishna is also son of Vasudeva. Garg Muni indirectly disclosed the fact that Krishna was the son of Devaki. Garg Muni also warned Nanda Maharaj that if he would perform the reformatory ceremony, then Kamsa, who was naturally very sinful, would understand Krishna was the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. According to astrological calculation, Devaki could not have a female child, and although everyone thought the eighth child of Devaki was female, in this way Garg Muni intimated to Nanda Maharaj that the female child was born of Yashoda and Krishna was born of Devaki. They were exchanged. Also, the female child Durga had informed Kamsa that the child who would kill him has already born somewhere else. So Garg Muni stated, if I give your child name and if he fulfills the prophecy to be of the female child to the Kamsa, then it may be that the sinful demon will come and kill this child also after the name giving ceremony. But I do not want to become responsible for all those future calamities. So on hearing the words of Garg Muni, Nanda Maharaj said, if there is such danger, then it is better not to plan any gorgeous name-giving ceremony. It would be better for you to simply chant the Vedic hymns and perform the purificatory process. We belong to the twice-born caste, and I am taking this opportunity of your presence. So please perform the name-giving ceremony without external pomp. Nanda Maharaj wanted to keep the name-giving ceremony a secret and yet take the advantage of Garg Muni's performing this ceremony. When Garg Muni was so eagerly requested by Nanda Maharaj, he performed the name-giving ceremony as secretly as possible in a cow shed of Nanda Maharaj. He informed Nanda Maharaj that the son of Rohini would be a very pleasing to his family members and relatives, and therefore he will be called Rama. In future, he would be extraordinarily strong, and therefore he would be called Baladev. So Garg Muni said further, because your family and the family of the Yadus are so intimately connected and attracted, his name will be Sankarshana. This means that Garg Muni awarded 3 names to the son of Rohini, namely Balaram, Sankarshan and Baldev. But he carefully did not disclosed the fact that Balram had also appeared in the womb of Devaki and was subsequently transferred to the womb of Rohini. Krishna and Balram are real brothers, being originally the son of Devaki. Garg Muni then informed Nanda Maharaj, as far as your son is concerned, this child has taken different bodily complexion in different yugas. First of all, he assumed the color of white, and then color red, and then the yellow color, and now he has assumed black color. Beside that, he was formerly the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, his name is Vasudeva, as well as Krishna. Some people will call him Krishna and some will call him Vasudeva. But one thing you must know, that this son had many other names and activities due to his different pastimes. Garg Muni further hinted Nanda Maharaj that his son would also be called as Giridhari because of his uncommon pastime of lifting Govardhan hill. Since Garg Muni was an astrologer, he could understand everything in past and future, and thus he said, I know everything about his activities and name, but others do not. This child will be very pleasing to all cowherdmen and cows. Being very popular in Vrindavan, he will be the cause of all good fortune for you. Because of his presence, you will overcome all kind of material calamities, despite any kind of opposing elements. Garg Muni continued, My dear king, king of Raja, in his previous births, this child many a times protected the righteous persons from the hands of rogues and thieves. Whenever there was political disruptions, he protected. Your child is so powerful that anyone who will become a devotee of your boy will never be troubled by his enemies. Just as demigods are always protected by Lord Vishnu, the devotees of your child will always be protected by Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This child will grow in power, beauty, opulence, in everything on the level of Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, I would advise you to protect him very carefully, and he may grow without disturbance. In other words, Garg Muni informed Nanda Maharaj that because he was great devotee of Lord Narayana, Lord had given Nanda a son equal to him. At the same time, Garg Muni indicated that this son would be disturbed by so many demons, and Nanda should therefore be careful to protect him. In this way, Garg Muni convinced Nanda Maharaj that Narayana himself had become his son. In various ways, he described the transcendental qualities of his son. After giving this information, Garg Muni returned to his home. Nanda Maharaj began to think of himself as the most fortunate person, and he was very satisfied to receive such a benediction in this way. So just see, earlier days, everything was understood by the help of great sages and devotees. And as far as astrology is concerned, it's a true science, it's true maths which can be calculated by a really educated person. And when we are in touch with that class of devotees and sages, our life becomes very much easy by their help. And by their hint, we can make out that how if there is a challenge, we can take care of them. So with this, we will stop here today. And if you have any doubt, any question based on whatever we discussed, please send your questions through WhatsApp. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.